Hey guys, welcome to another video. Let me first start off saying, wow, I should just stop even saying apologizing to you guys, because oh my gosh, my YouTube life sucks. I thought this summer would be a perfect opportunity for more YouTube videos, but it just turned out I had the most, well, it was the best summer I've ever had, but let's say it was the most busy summer I've ever had. I went to SeaWorld unexpectedly. I had actually no idea I was even going to California. I had no plan of it. Um, so lots of stuff happened that I didn't expect to happen. So YouTube has been really bad. My channel has been really bad because, well, I haven't been posting anything, and that's not by me. Sorry that I've been sucking, but such is life. I had a good summer and hope you guys have too. So leave in the comments how your day's been doing, from a 1 being the worst and a 10 being the best, and put an emoji matching your feeling if you can. And sorry if I'm sucking at Black Ops 3 because I don't even play this game anymore. But because I was gonna do my thoughts on Battlefield 1 video, but EA is freaking out. Their servers are totally down. Even Battlefield 4 I tried was down, so everything's sucking. So sorry if I'm stuck at this game, but let's just stop my complaining and all my stuff, and let's just actually say real words. Now, reason you clicked on this video was for my story time. Now, my story times are getting more popular in my channel, so let's just keep telling them. Now this happened recently. This happened when I was in Montana, visiting my grandparents about not even a week ago, probably 4 days ago. But this story didn't happen probably happened about a week and a half ago. So this is a most recent story I'm about to tell, but it doesn't change the fact that it's a story. Why am I using rejects? But whatever. So my family, on every part of my side, has been into racing. And always will be into racing. I'm into racing, but I'm not into the same racing they are. They're into motorcycles and all that stuff, but I'm more into four-wheel racing, like go-karts and all that stuff. At this point right now, I'm actually trying to save up myself for a go-kart for me to be racing. But, you know, those cost a lot of money, and I'm not from a very rich family, but doesn't change the fact I love them dearly. But I come from the family of lots of racing and motorcycles and just competition. Our family has a lot of competition, and it's awesome. But yeah, had a lot of competition. So when I was I was a late bloomer for for riding a bicycle. I didn't ride in one until like 7 years old. Yes, I was very late when I was riding a bike, and I was really jealous from everyone. Actually, the only reason I ever rode a bike was because my stepsister rode one first. It's funny, but it's a different time. But my grandpa decided he wanted to get me a little Honda 50cc for like $300. It was like probably the crappiest, junkiest Honda you've ever seen, but it ran well, so I guess it wasn't that bad. It ran well, but it was probably the ugliest Honda you've ever laid your eyes on. So it was no pretty sight to look at. But he decided he wanted to show me how to ride a bike before I even knew how to ride a bicycle, which is not a big thing. I think lots of people do it anyway. It doesn't require that much balance when you're riding. It kind of does the balance by itself. So it's just a natural kind of thing when you're riding. You get the balance down pretty well. Nothing really that difficult to understand. But so he gave me the rundown. It was no shifter thing. It was just pull the throttle, just use the throttle, and you'll go. Nothing very bad. But what I did was, we had it on video, but I haven't found it, and I won't be able to edit it in even if I do find it. But it would be kind of hilarious if I found it. But technically, what happened was, he started me off, and I put on lots of gas, the throttle, and push it all the way down, and that caused me to lean back because of all the G forces or something. I don't know, the G forces or something. Like, I was leaning back, and when I was leaning back, I was on the throttle, and I couldn't let go of the throttle, so I'm going full speed, into a tree. Well, it looked like a tree. It's probably some sort of big bush or something, because I was a kid, and everything looks bigger as a child. Like, you'll go on a sled when you're 5, and you think it's huge, but really it's just a little tiny hill when you get older. That's just what happens. Life sucks. That's just what happens. But I run into this bush at like full speed, and the bike hits it, and I fall off, and like, unluckily, the bike, the handlebars hit the branch in a way where it turned it, and it circled around and hit me in the face. The bike, I think no, it didn't hit me. I went out. I crawled out of the way very, very frantically, but I got out of the way, so I didn't die by a bike that day. Very good thing, I guess. So, yeah, but after that experience, I got another bike when I was about 9 or 10. I think 10, actually. When I was 10, I got a new bike. It was a Honda SRF or something like that. I don't remember. It was a 110. It was a good dirt bike. I got new plastics for it. I got Rockstar plastics. It looked stinking awesome. It was really nice. It never gave me any problem except the throttle got stuck a few times, which I actually hate to this day. Throttle being stuck is probably the worst thing ever. But the bike was a really good bike, and I wasn't ever a very good rider. I was actually a pretty bad rider. I always had some sort of fear of a bike, and I never knew why. I was always somewhat scared of them. I don't know. Still to this day, I'm not like the most secure around them, but I'll ride them, and I still have a fun time doing it. So it's not like I'm absolutely terrified of them. I'll still ride them, have a fun time. But that's until a few years later when I was about 12 or 12 and a half. I sold the bike because I lived in the city where I couldn't ride it. I had nowhere to ride it. So I sold the bike for pretty cheap. Whoever got it got a really good deal because I couldn't sell the thing with my life. But someone got it for a pretty good deal, like 12. Nothing actually that bad, but it was like $1,200 sold it, or $1,000. So they got a pretty good deal of a good bike. So yeah, I kind of regret to this day still selling the dirt bike because I still liked it, but whatever. We all make regrets in life. But I sold it, and just recently, 2 weeks ago, I went back to my grandpa's, and I haven't rode a bike since. But I should tell you a little backstory about. I went to a trials thing. Like 3 years when I had my dirt bike. I went to a trials thing. I got second place. I entered the trials thing on my dirt bike. I got second place. That was interesting. People said I did a good job, especially on doing a trials thing on a dirt bike, which is really hard for how heavy it is compared to a trials bike. Trials bike are really light. And if you don't know what a trials bike is, they're little two strokes with really low gears and really high gears, if that makes any sense. They're very, very touchy bikes, very weird, and they don't have a seat. They're made for like popping the clutch, doing really easy wheelies, and popping clutches and doing jumps from the ground and all that stuff. Very weird bikes, way different from dirt bikes. So I just wanted to give you that little backstory, but. So, just recently, I came back to my grandpa's, and he asked me if I wanted to ride the dirt bikes, which I said yes. But what I didn't actually know was he didn't have a dirt bike anymore. He had a trials bike, which I've rode once, and that was when I knew how to ride. Oh, okay. That's when I was experienced in somewhat riding. So I've only rode this bike once, and this is actually a new bike. Oh my gosh, I was trying to remember the name of it too. Some weird trials bike starting with a CH. Something really weird sounding, and I won't ever remember it until he tells me again. But yeah, I wasn't gonna chicken out either. It was a 5-speed trials. bike. So that was an experience. But the first ride I did was actually ended up well. I first started out on the four wheeler, which I know how to ride a four wheeler. I'm comfortable in those. Those things are somewhat very easy. You just press down the throttle with your thumb and you drive it. It's not very hard. Doesn't take that very much brains to drive a four wheeler. So yeah, it's pretty simple. So we rode those back in this back trails in the back, and we had fun with that until not this day, but I got on his trials bike. I released the clutch, did all the stuff you should, and I had trouble shifting because on trials bike the shifter is way like for some like size 10 person to reach the clutch with your foot, so I have to like take my foot off the peg to even shift the bike. But it went okay. A couple times it ran out of gas actually on me on the trail. And it's weird on trials bikes, whenever they're running out of gas, they don't start to sputter. Instead they start to rev up very fast. And that scared me. I didn't crash, but it scared me very bad because I'm suddenly riding when my bike starts to speed up when I'm not even on the throttle. I'm pushing on the brake, it's still revving up until I pop down the gear and it like shoved forward, almost fall off the bike, but I saved myself. I come to a stop somehow and saved myself from death. Just kidding, I wouldn't have died, but like it's just a scary thing. So we've refilled the gas, that was fine. The very next day I had a horrible experience. So my friend and Carter's still my best friend to this, obviously, hopefully still my best friend to this day. I've known him for 2 years now, and this was only a few weeks ago, but so he's riding a go-kart behind a four-wheeler, excuse me, behind me, and this is his first time driving a four-wheeler on his own. So he's riding behind me. I'm going to be in front of him on the child's bike. And my grandparents have big property, and it's in the forest in Montana. So it's a forest. It's not just plain open area. So we're riding in the back, which I know very well, but apparently not completely well. Because, well, when I was riding, I was in fourth gear, which was a very stupid reason for me. Because, well, first and second gear on the trials bike is probably the lowest things ever. You're going 5 miles per hour and you're hitting red line on that trials bike in second gear. So those low gears are really low. But third gear is probably the gear you're going to want for just cruising around, which is what I should have been at. Because fourth gear is just crazy and fifth gear is nuts. And I was in fourth gear being some sort of stupid show off, I guess. I don't really even know why. But so we're going off in the wilderness. He's behind me. I'm having some fun. We were out there for probably 30 seconds when I'm riding this trials bike. And I went through this little tall of some grass. I didn't think there'd be anything in there when I hit this stump. And the stump kind of launches me back, like I did when I first got my bike. Remember that? I leaned back and I pulled on the throttle. And again, trials bikes are really sensitive, so any slightest movement with the throttle is gonna like tear. So, and I'm at fourth gear, which is a high gear for this stupid thing, and so it just starts launching. And when I'm leaning back, the motorcycle does a wheelie, which I was never prone to wheelies. I never did a wheelie. I was no daredevil with dirt bikes, especially since I had a stupid little fear of them. I never did wheelies. So I'm doing this wheelie in fourth gear in the wilderness, and I see this tree. I see 3 trees coming toward me, and this is the time I start to panic, and there's no way I'm getting out of this. So, this time, the wheel finally hits the ground, the front wheel, but it's too late. I hit the tree. I going not full speed because I didn't have that much time left, but I just hit the tree, and the handlebars whack me in the side, and I have a big this big tree print on my my shirt, and I fall over with my bike on the ground. The bike dies, obviously, like it would. And the first thing I see when I look over, see on the ground, is the bike on the ground, with its headlight broken. Its headlight broken because he put a headlight on the trials bike, and he also put a seat on it. But he put the the headlights broken and the plastic broke. So I'm obviously freaking out because this isn't my bike. So and it's on the ground, which I don't pick it up in, which is totally forgot because I remember that was like one of the #1 rules having a bike. If you like tip it over, you're gonna have to bring it back up before it starts leaking or starts a fire. Especially right now, there's a like a 25,000 acre fire right near there. Like almost, I think they're in pre-evacuation or something. But right there, and my bike's on the ground. It could start a fire. And what I'm just tearing off branches, snapping branches, all mad at myself for doing something so stupid. When I see my grandpa and my mom running up the hill, and I suddenly hear both of them yelling, "Pick up the bike!" And well, I pick up the bike out of fear, and well, first words out of my grandpa were, you broke my beaver dam headlight." Just kidding, just edit out the beaver. But I was obviously terrified because my grandpa's not a guy you want to disappoint. He's an awesome dude. He's awesome. I love him dearly. He's awesome, but he's not someone you want to disappoint. He's not mad at me, but when he has that tone of voice that you know he's not the happiest with you and he's kind of disappointed. And I don't like disappointing him. He's very scary to disappoint, and it's horrible. So gets all mad. He's telling me all the stuff I did, what happened, and all this. And he checks the bike, and it's still in 4th gear. It's dead, but it's in 4th gear. Oh my gosh, it felt so bad. He makes me get back on the bike. I'm having this thinking like meltdown here because like I haven't rode a bike in like at least 3 years. And then I get on a bike and crash into a tree, and my mom's freaking out because I have this like tree print and bark on my shirt. Looks like I ran into the tree. My hip's hurting. Not that bad because of the adrenaline and all that, but it wasn't that bad. So it was just a disaster. He made me get on the bike. I was freaking out because I didn't want to go down the hill. But it turned out to be just fine. I putted around his little dirt road for a little bit, like in 3rd gear, making sure I didn't lean back on the bike at all to push down the throttle. So I put it around there, and I got a little bit more confident with the bike before I put it up. That's when I figured out I also broke the kill engine switch on the bike, so he had to stall it in a high gear. That was so... Yeah, that's my story of how I made everything suck. So that's the story of the Trials bike. And I went into my old history because I did the exact same thing I did when first time I rode my bike. I hit a tree when I was leaning back. So history does repeat itself. That's the moral of the story. If there's morals in my stories, the moral of the story is history repeats itself. So watch what you're doing. Voila. Hope you guys enjoyed this story. I'm hoping I'm not gonna get back on a bike, but if I do, I hope I don't crash into a tree. I have some friends with bikes, and hopefully I could ride their bike without crashing into trees. So let's hope I get a go-kart and I can race those. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys in the next one. Creep out, guys.